Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Getting Stoked, everybody. Super happy that you're here. On the episode today, I'm going to have Aerico, who is a band that I've been following around and been a fan of for, I don't even know, not that long, really, like maybe 6 months or so. Played with them in a crazy fucking windowless trailer in Apache Junction, which we're going to talk about as soon as they get here. I'm doing the introduction a little bit different this time. I'm going to see how this works. I'm doing it before they get here as opposed to afterwards, just to save myself hectic editing. So we'll see if this works out or not. But I'm really happy to have them here. I've talked to Cameron and Sean a couple times in the past. I think I've maybe only said good job to the drummer. I'm not sure if I've said anything else to them. So we're going to be really excited. This is going to be really fun. Got some candles and some incense going. Got the fucking vibes going. So as soon as they get here, we're going to have a fucking good time. Maybe, you know, maybe we'll learn a little bit. Maybe we'll grow together as people. Maybe we'll all reach a mutual understanding of life and existence and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, Aerico. And we're here with Aerico. Look at that. And yes, you can curse. You can absolutely curse. Totally.
Hey, cool.
Fuck.
Frick yeah. Frick yeah.
I cursed.
Darn!
Everyone's ears are like, fuck, what the fuck was that?
Frick.
Frick.
All right. So let's do a quick round the table. Everybody to my left.
I am Cameron Werner. I play bass in Aerico.
Hi,
On the mic, homeboy.
I'm Sean, and I do vocals.
What's your last name?
Rooney. Like the shitty band or the dead guy from 60 Minutes.
Oh, fuck.
Like Andy Rooney?
Yes.
I am Josh, no known last name, and I play drums.
Fantastic.
It's actually Josh Luke.
His last name is the first name. It's Luke. He
Wrong.
doesn't have a lot. It's two first names.
That's wrong.
Okay.
Josh
All right,
Luke.
Well, hello. I'm so happy to have you guys over here. The first time that I met you guys or saw you guys was when we played in a small rectangular trailer in Apache Junction, and you guys fucking terrified me. Like I was like, because we're playing.
Life is terrifying.
We're playing in this fucking like poppy, sing-songy fucking band, and you guys are like
Very poppy.
No guitar player. Just a bassist who's bulldozes your face off, and like a drummer with a fucking like amp with reverb on it next to his snare drum to make it sound all fucking crazy and ethereal,
right.
and a vocalist. Oh shit! Who just dropped the mic?
My apologies.
You're good. You're good.
It's
Hold on,
your-
I got it.
It's your dog.
Oh,
Here, I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about things right now. Going through a lot. This is Cameron speaking, by the way. I don't know. I just like
She probably learned a lesson. Hopefully, she doesn't do that
trying
again.
to figure out life right now.
Oh,
all right.
dogs.
Yeah. Cameron's over here falling into an existential crisis. All right,
Nobody
and
Aren't we all?
back to what I was saying. And vocalist who fucking like terrified. Like I was convinced that he was gonna kill every person in the room.
I wanted to.
Why? Because of all the pop punk on the walls, or what?
No, just like, it would be cool.
It'd be cool.
Not really.
It'd
No,
be a big show.
No, I think
It would be interesting.
It'd be expressive, is what it would be.
It would be very expressive. So, was the decision to not have a guitar player a conscious one, or did you just never get a guitar player?
I think we were never really set on ever getting a guitar player.
We didn't want one. Why get one? Honestly, like previously for consumer, it just worked. It's just a lot easier to have one person writing like the actual music, and especially like the idea was like a bass guitar is so full. If you put effects to it, it can really just fill up an entire soundscape on its own. It's honestly just efficiency.
Yeah,
And-
totally. That's all. I dig the fuck out of it, and you can hold it. I can't even tell when I'm standing there that it's just a bass player and not a guitar player.
It took some work. Like, don't get me wrong. It took some work to like, because you have to like take things into account for like what it is. You are a rhythm oriented, like you're a bass player. So like trying to kind of gauge like what necessary steps you have to make to fill out the sound is really imperative.
Yeah, no, that plus you're playing through a bunch of pedals too, right? Which definitely helps.
Absolutely, and I think the pedals just kept getting added on to the. I'm just gonna stare at Josh while I talk about this.
Stop it.
I'm not going to.
All
I
you
feel
do
I'm
is
at home right now.
Stare at me.
Hands are gonna go into the table.
I'm
But-
just silently guiding you. Yes. Correct.
Thank you, Josh.
Great job.
But yeah, it was nothing like the pedals did get, I don't know, Sean, like they did get just added on like gradually as we went.
Yeah, well, but Sean uses pedals too, which is, do you, like, for someone who, obviously, like, I don't know your musical background yet, most vocalists who are just singing or yelling or talking or obliterating, whatever the fuck you do, like, don't use pedals. So, like, are you a musician beforehand, or what's the deal with you? How do you know about pedals and stuff?
So, Josh and I actually have been playing together for a while. The longest person I've been playing with isn't here. He's in Consumer. His name's Jeremy. He's also in RNA. But he and I were playing for a really long time. We had me and the two dudes from RNA in high school were in like a thrash punk band together called Brain Cage.
So good.
No, we weren't. We were good for like high school kids. I'll give it that. But fast forward a few years, Josh joins our next band, me and Jeremy and Josh. And at the end of it, I was like, I wanted to experiment, so I started buying pedals. And I was the singer and the bass player, so I wanted to get pedals for my bass. And then we decided to start Consumer instead. And I was like, I got all these pedals. What do? I'll sing through them.
That's awesome.
You have
Yeah,
okay. You have a question.
Cameron's hand is up. Yes, Cameron.
Okay, so can I just say, can we mention Ian Curtis Christ from Health Problems coming down to the Sandlot and how that like kind of showed you what you could do more with pedals?
Yeah. So maybe about 2 years ago, we played a show at the Sandlot with this fucking awesome band called Health Problems, and that is one of the few, like, there's some bands that have definitely like shaped our whole like little scenes like sound, but like with us, like Aerico, Consumer, RNA, Maximum Roach, like it's like 5 people making all, like with all these bands, we all like saw Health Problems, and Consumer and RNA played with them. And Health Problems are fucking awesome. They have a bassist, a drummer, and a singer. And the singer sings through pedals. The bassist has pedals, and
The drummer does not.
the drummer does not. But they're not around anymore. But they were really awesome, and we got to see them, and that kind of further cemented us wanting to kind of take this path.
That makes sense. I mean, having influences obviously is a huge deal in the Phoenix. Phoenix is awesome. There's so many fucking bands.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like I think a lot of our influences in my band came from other Phoenix bands. Like there's so
Absolutely.
fucking many of them. Like you guys just mentioned like 8 outside that I've never even heard of before. And like I run a podcast devoted to local bands. So it's like fucking there's so many of them.
I know the gamut's pretty big. Like I don't know. I'm just gonna say heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck
no
yeah.
cursing.
No cursing.
No
Wait,
cursing.
I want to curse though. Some point.
Okay.
Another thing that we actually, I know Cameron was aware of it. It's before we met Cameron, but like Josh got us all into Lightning Bolt. If you know Lightning Bolt,
I don't know them.
They are fucking awesome. They're probably one of the biggest, like most artistic, like
Two-piece.
modern forces. They've been around for a while, but they're still doing it. They're not even that old. Like they're still making really awesome music, and it's a 2-piece. It's a drummer singer who has a bunch of effects pedals when he sings, and the bassist it has a bunch of effects pedals.
Brian Gibson and
Brian Chippendale and Brian
yes.
Gibson. Yeah.
Brian,
Two
what a
Brians.
fucking load of last name. I don't know if that's a
Brians.
blessing or a curse.
Yeah, so they were awesome. We've seen them like twice, and they definitely influenced us greatly.
So what happened? Okay, now I need to take a chunk to talk about this. Consumer. I know that you're from Consumer, yeah,
And he is
and
too.
he's from Consumer,
Indeed.
and Cameron's not. And now I was under the impression because Aerico was happening, and I haven't heard anything from Consumer in a while, that Consumer was not a thing anymore. But before we talk about the future of that, like, how did that start? Because this seems to be where the story begins. This was Consumer.
So
So this is Aerico / Consumer podcast.
Yeah.
So it's a long story because basically me and Josh and Jeremy from Consumer and RNA, we were all in a band called Eyes Immune together. It was first Jeremy and I, and we went through a billion people we found Josh. Our drummer before Josh was on bath salts, and we like had to kick him out at a show because he
Amateur
was
hour.
whacked out on bath salts and spice. And we're like, dude,
Oh fuck, bath salt and spice.
yeah, he was so we thought we were gonna
He
break
didn't even
up,
bathe.
but then our friend who was in the band was like, oh, I know someone who knows someone, and we met Josh. And so Isamune played for a bit, but like we wanted to kind of break away from like the kind of garage rock dynamic or whatever. And Jeremy, our guitarist, he got a bass and he was playing his bass, and I was like, dude, that could be like a whole thing. That could just fill up a whole thing. Why don't we make a band where I just want to sing on, because I was playing bass and singing, and I was like, I want to like perform. I want to just sing. I don't want to deal with both. And so like, Jeremy, you just do the music, Josh, you do the drums, and I will sing. And we got started. Our first practice was really awkward, and then we had a second practice, and right away, just like we made a song, and pretty soon we like had a single recorded, and we started playing shows, and you know, it was pretty much on the up for a couple years, playing a lot of shows, and then Jeremy and Zeb in RNA was starting out.
I remember that. I remember when RNA got started.
Yeah, and they started playing a lot, and then what happened was Zeb and Jeremy were gonna move to Washington. They didn't end up doing it. So Aerico is kind of like our backup plan. It was like, okay, well, if they're going to leave, you know, Cameron, our bassist, and Aerico has been, you know, coming to our shows. Like we met him like 2 years ago or so, a little more than that. He's just been coming to our shows, coming to all our practices, and he was in another band. And
I was in Good Grief.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, you were in good grief. Kurt and the Camerons.
So many Camerons.
So yeah, it was just natural. It was just like, hey, let's start a band together, because Josh and I were gonna do it as a 2-piece, but then like, why not? And so that's what pretty much happened. Zeb and Jeremy didn't end up moving. They decided Phoenix was kind of better to stay in.
They just
at the
joined
moment.
Jade Helm for a minute.
They also joined Jade Helm, although that's not a thing right now. They're not in it anymore. I think Jade Helm's still around, but they're looking for members. But regardless, so right now, like, Consumer is kind of just taking a back seat. We're all very good friends still. We all hang out all the time. You know, there's no bad blood in that. It's literally just that between, like, we thought they were moving and now they're not. There's just not enough time between RNA and Aerico and all the other shit.
There's 4 bands between 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, it's fucking
so.
crazy.
It's very incestuous.
Yeah.
So yeah, Consumer's not dead. We played our last show probably in like March, and we just have been like not thinking about it, but like we just got our new practice space, and we had our first practice, and we just decided to bring back some Consumer songs, have a Consumer practice. Then we got offered to play a show tomorrow. So
At the Sandlot, right?
yeah, at the Sandlot actually,
Speaking of which,
and we were just like,
Plug.
so yeah, fuck it, we just practiced it. Let's do it.
That's fucking rad, dude. I'm definitely excited because Consumer, you guys were the first, because I've only been in the scene in since 2015. Like I was in a shitty pop band in 2011 when I was like 17. But
what were you? What was your band called?
I was in a band called Drive Through Thursday.
Whoa!
Wait.
Wait, you guys know what that is?
Yes, I
What?
feel
No,
like.
you don't.
Have you ever played a show with Eyes Immune?
I don't think so.
I'm
They might
pretty
have. I
sure
wasn't
I
in the band
played
the
a
whole
show
time.
with you. Either that or like I went and saw a show because I remember that name. I remember that name.
They might have. I was only in the
Wait a
band for the
second.
last. I was only in the
Wait
band for
a
the last few
second.
shows.
Wait a second.
pet this
I
dog
remember
all
now. This was a long time ago. I
Yeah.
think like we were somewhere on the street and we saw these dudes and they're like, "We're in a band." And we're like, "We're in a band too." And I think it was Drive Through Thursday.
Yeah, it might have been. They were just a bunch of like rich kids from Queen Creek. Nothing against them. They're all very nice men now. I'm assuming I haven't talked to them since I was fucking like 17. But yeah, it wasn't good at all. It was very much just like I just joined the band because I wanted to be in a band. I didn't care what they sounded like. I was just desperate to be in a band. They wanted to sound like the Maine or some shit, and I was like, this is lame, but I want to be in a band. And luckily I did, because that's where I met the singer of my band now and whatever. So that's awesome. But So I've only really been in the scene since like 2015. So I don't know a whole lot of. I didn't know a whole lot of bands going into this. So Consumer was the first band that I ever heard that was like noise or whatever the fuck you would classify that as.
Well, that's flattering. Thank you.
I think I saw a write up. Maybe I either saw a write up or I saw friends posting about it, and that fucking the cigarette butts demo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so fucking
Dude,
good.
So our first demo with all those cigarette butts, that is from Jeremy's backyard. He lived at his parents' house at the moment, and his parents are really cool. They're like into punk rock. I've been going over there for like 10 years. They got me into punk rock. That's
Peterson
actually
punk house.
Yeah.
It's a punk house.
Honestly, it's just like a nice like house in Gilbert, but like you
The
go there
punkest
and
house in Gilbert.
you know the dad's wearing a Black Flag shirt,
Nice.
whatever.
Playing
His
Xbox.
mom's listening to Primus, and it's just like cool. So
They've got
their
hamsters.
backyard, there was just like a fucking pile of cigarettes on the ground because the dad smokes, and we were
Jerry
all
smokes about a quarter of a cigarette.
and we were practicing all the time there originally, so we were all leaving cigarette butts, and I was like, I need to take a picture of this. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, it's fucking So that's where I first heard about like any kind of hey, someone moving metal around or something like
I
that.
am.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
No,
I
you're
fidget a
totally.
lot.
No, I do too.
Earthquake.
Yeah. So and I fucking loved it. I thought it was, but I thought it's crazy that I have you guys now here because when I first heard about Consumer, I thought you guys were like fucking like way too hard to get in contact with because I thought you were just like huge. Like I thought like because like I thought when I thought of Consumer, like I thought you guys were fucking like, oh my god, like this is the shit. This is the next big fucking huge noise band. Like I thought you were like really a big deal. And because like
Sorry.
so no, it's super cool that you guys
Cameron's
were here
laughing,
now.
I'm Cameron.
And I still didn't even know that you were in Consumer when I fucking saw you guys. Not even like 6 months ago or however long ago that was, like whatever. So then I put those pieces together, and that's fucking awesome. But before we move on to the next question that I have, what the fuck is bath salts? Like, how do you do? Because you mentioned that earlier, and it's just like it's stuck in my head. Is that even real? I thought that was a myth.
Is it?
I don't know. Like
Was that
apparently,
hyperbole? Was he actually doing bath salts?
yeah, he was. It's like I don't know, dude. That was like I don't even think that's really much of a thing
I
anymore.
don't think
It's
it is
just
either.
like what he was doing. I know specifically was like quote unquote fake cocaine.
Oh, got it. And fake weed with spice. He just couldn't
Yeah.
get a legit drug in a system.
Everyone had that phase, but
Must have been on task.
don't let it be more than a phase.
Spice is fucked, dude. Like
It is.
there's still places in AJ where you can give a secret word and they'll give you spice from behind the counter.
Spices are for cooking.
18-year-old me had some bad
Idiots.
experiences with that.
Dude,
The
that
worst
shit's
thing.
fucking
But I
rough.
would never do like bath salts or any uppers or any of that shit.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that.
I let someone give me a tattoo on spice once. Like an actual tattoo artist in an actual tattoo shop.
Wait, was the person on Spice or were you on?
He was fucking doing spice and then tattooing me at the same time.
How did it turn out?
Actually, it's fine. It actually ended up, he was a consummate professional in every other way, but being a fucking junkie. So, I mean, good for him, I guess. The reason I say that with hostility is because he never finished any of my tattoos because he just like pieced out and I never, whatever. So now
Just
I have
give him more
unfinished tattoos.
spice.
Yeah, that's just fucking chucking down.
It's dirt cheap.
So how did Cameron come into this whole situation?
So, funny story.
Cameron has great hair, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the way your hair's very feathered.
He's
I
the only
appreciate
one
it.
with hair left.
Hey, it's receding.
It's
so
everywhere.
It's gonna.
I like it, though.
It's gonna lose.
I think that's good.
So I met Josh at the 7-Eleven he was working at because the 7-Eleven was right behind my apartment that I was living in at the time. So I just noticed that he was listening to like the Blood Brothers or like the Locust or some shit, and I just like kind of like
Just
got
blast
chummy.
that shit.
I got chummy with him, and I was like, oh cool, like the Locust, or like cool the Blood Brothers, and like. He just asked me, and we just kind of got to talking and just kind of shooting the shit. And he just asked me, what I was into, and I just named a lot of local bands. Like I mentioned I like Gay Kiss a lot and like Destruction Unit.
Oh yeah.
Is Destruction Unit still around?
Destruction Unit is still around.
Okay.
They're very much still a very active band.
Sweet.
They got the Aesthetic House boys doing their thing.
Aesthetic House. Is that like... I've seen that name around before.
It's got like Nick Napa and Jay and
Doesn't Early
Andrew
Tongue
Forrest.
do that? Does that Early Tongue or Adam Lovelady or whatever the fuck his name is?
I'm
do
not
that
too
kind of
sure.
stuff too?
I am very not well versed in the Aesthetic House thing. Like I just,
I'm not either.
what was that noise?
The ghosts.
Sorry.
What? You're fine. It's totally.
Sean,
No,
you're
you're
fine.
cool. Well, you know what I'm gonna buy? I'm like a lot of people have like little bowls with peanuts in them. I'm gonna get a bowl full of fidget spinners or fidget cubes and whatever the fucking. Because I'm like that too. I'm over here playing with my wires on my headphones all the time and stuff.
I have a fidget spinner up my ass right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's spinning all the time. But like, so how it just pretty much ended up is that he said, come to a show. He mentioned Consumer. He mentioned that was his band. And I went and saw one show. And for like a whole year, I tried to make out to everyone. And I became friends with like the RNA guys through Sean and Josh. And, you know, a year later, you know, while I was still with Good Grief, they asked me to jam with them. And then the first practice we had, we pretty much made our first song for Aerico.
What happened with you in Good Grief?
So,
People who know my show know them because they've been on before.
So,
Unless it's too touchy, then we
no,
won't
it's
get into
not touchy at all. Like, we're all pretty versed in what happened. Nothing really that big happened. We just, I pretty much took on Aerico as more of a full time. They were more making music that I was more interested in, and I think Cameron knew that.
That makes sense.
Cameron already understood what I was kind of going for, and I think Kurt did too. I just think we just kind of parted ways.
Yeah, that makes
I think
sense.
the last show I played was a Christmas benefit show at the Rebel Lounge with them.
Nice.
We played with Sterletzia.
Oh, Sterletzia is fucking cool. I'm gonna have them on it at some point. I've never met them. Hopefully they're nice people. Hopefully they're cool guys. I don't know.
If Riley ever listens to this, what up? You're cool. Keep doing it. Keep doing your thing.
So, how did the first EP come about?
Do you guys want to chime in? Josh, you should talk right now. Like
Talk,
for
Josh.
10 minutes.
Talk!
10 minutes. 10 minutes. Talk.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
You recorded it in 10 minutes?
No, so
I
all
like
right. So yeah, I don't know. Our whole plan is like instead of trying to do a whole full length, we're trying to do a trilogy of EPs first. We just we had so everyone in our little circle or whatever knew Consumer and knew it wasn't doing much lately, and we kind of had it on the hush hush, but we were like, yeah, we have a new band that's gonna come out, and we didn't tell anyone anything about it. We just told them that we had something new coming, and
Built up the hype for it.
yeah. So honestly, we just tried to get enough songs to play a show. So we made our first 4 songs in a month, and then we were working on the 5th song, and I think our 2nd or 3rd show we played that one, and so we had 5 songs. So it's fuck it, let's record, and so we did. It was pretty quick.
Cameron's a fucking polite. He raises his hand whenever he has something to say.
Yes, Cameron.
Yes?
We actually, one of our first shows we ever played was when Rat's Ass, the first night they ever had any bands play, we played the first night of Rat's Ass.
That was the
New
first
Year's?
night.
New Year's
That
Eve.
was
New
New
Year's
Year's.
Eve. Yeah. Crazy
yeah.
fucking Milo being Milo just goes hey, what's up? Hey, fuck these bands. Fuck everyone. Man, I just want to fucking kill myself. And I'm
Wait.
oh no, this was just him talking, and he's yeah, we're playing a show tonight, but we don't know who else wants to play. And I'm well, Aerico can play. And he's oh, cool, you guys punk? And I'm sure.
Remember when we were practicing and he just the Rat's Ass was like a venue, a punk venue
Right
thing.
down the street. Right
yeah.
down.
And we practiced at this place called Wall Street, and it's a storage unit in South Phoenix, and it's it's a U-shaped building with a bunch of them in an enclosed parking lot.
Yeah,
And
I've seen that setup before.
yeah, so down the way was the Rat's Ass, and we were at our practice space. And I remember one time, one of the dudes from the Rat's Ass, Milo, he fucking just was walking down, and he just ran in our space, and he was I need to take a big shit. And he just fucking went in our bathroom. He didn't even ask.
Blew it up.
He just ran in our fucking space and shit in our fucking bathroom. That's punk.
That's punk with a V instead of a U.
Yeah, it is.
Vonk.
That's
up the punks.
It's hardline punk.
So I've never asked this question before because I think it's lame as fuck. But in this situation, I feel like it's appropriate because I'm curious.
Ask away.
Where does the name Aerico come from? Like, I know, like, it's the lamest thing to ask ever, but you guys are one of those fucking artsy bands that uses words that no one fucking knows what it means. So it's like,
It's my grandpa's name.
I'll say that mostly it's because like we didn't have a name when we were trying to make new stuff, and I was trying to look for a name. We were originally going to be called Shut-Ins, but I don't really like that. It just wasn't what we were going for, so I scoured the internet for a name, and I went on Wikipedia, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to look up mythical creatures. Why not? And I went on Wikipedia, a list of mythical creatures around the world, and I scoured the whole thing, and the best one I could find that was unused, that sounded like something that could be easily pronounceable, was Aerico. And that's actually, it's from like Greek and Slavic, I think, especially Armenian folklore.
look at that.
I mean, not Armenian, Albanian folklore.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it's like a disease demon that waits in trees, and it can like manifest as a human, and it spreads malaria and tuberculosis. So honestly, it's just kind of like a loose translation of that as far as conceptually, because I think like the idea, especially for our first EP, an Aerico could like symbolically be like a toxic person.
Yeah.
Someone who manifests as a person who spreads disease, talk like mental illness is disease. And a Cambion, like our first EP is called Cambion, that's the child of a demon. It's like a child of a human and an incubus, or a human and a succubus. So
Got it.
if you think of Cambion in the context of Aerico, it means like the kid who is raised by an Aerico. I don't know. It's
No,
just
I like that. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It wasn't super
A lot of our
concrete,
songs,
but
a lot of our songs do deal with a lot of. I think we're very personal with our content.
Yeah, well, that was the next question that I had was, what is your guys' lyrical content generally
It's very.
like?
I think it's a lot of personal shit.
isolation, struggle, capitalism, like, struggling under capitalism.
Frustration.
Yeah, frustration. I always try to write about maybe something happy, but it's just like, fuck, like, why?
I think we have a lot of happy. It's like there's triumph and joy through getting through sorrow. Like I feel like
I agree.
I feel like a lot of our songs stem from a place of what do you call it? Just like encumbering circumstances.
Yeah.
And I feel like that there's like a happy sadness to our stuff.
Yeah,
where it
you
has a
could
little bit of a
definitely
lift to it.
Dance around while you're sad as hell.
Oh, I totally. That's my favorite thing in the world. My favorite thing in the world is like Tom Waits once said, I like beautiful melodies telling me terrible things. And that's one of those things where that's my favorite part about the band that I'm in is that it's like poppy music that's all just about fucking misery. And that's what I think. I love that in music. I love when people do that and when bands do that. It's one of my favorite things.
I
in the
do
world.
like that about your band, by the way.
Thank you. But you guys make music that I want to fucking end the world to. Well, also
We make death.
So-
We make death marches.
So like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for example, a couple songs like on our new EP, the first song, Locked In, that song is totally about like if you've ever been in your life and you've just been fucking busy all the time, like you feel like you're just kind of locked into like doing these things, go to work, go to whatever, have some little bit of free time and then just go back at it. And just like the frenzy of just like doing that again and again and again and feeling tired and just wanting to like further yourself but not having like the energy to, because you're so busy with everything else. That's kind of what that song, it's like you're locked into life. You're like life. You can't change things.
Yeah, that's how I felt in a fucking shitty job that I worked before the job I have right now. It was like every day when I got home or when I would have days off or vacation, it just felt like, oh no, this is my owner's giving me a little slack on a leash. That's all it is. It's like when you're walking a dog and you have those leashes that you can like put a button on and it like lets it go. It gives a bunch of slack. That's what it felt like. It was like, all right, well you can go over there, but you're gonna have to come right the fuck back to me when you're done.
Oh yeah, that's totally what it's about. And then
Not
like
enough slack.
the second song is called Two-Way Mirror, and that's kind of like about how you're just shaped by your perceptions, like especially like via the internet, how like they know who you are. If you get on the internet, they know exactly who you are, your demographic, what you like, and they will market things specifically to you. And it's called Two-Way Mirror because when you're looking at the computer or you're looking at anything, you're looking at like yourself. You're looking at like what you are taking in.
But they're watching you at the same time.
But they're watching you through the two-way mirror.
Yeah. Well, they're taking your data, your demographics, like your clicks, anything like.
They put it in an algorithm and then they market to you.
They're information brokers.
And then like the third song, what's the third song again?
Peter.
No, fuck you. What is it called?
It's called Fuck.
I forgot.
Wait.
How did I forget what
Hold
it's
on.
called?
I can pull it up right now on Bandcamp. Hold on, we'll do this right now.
Hold on, man. Are we? I am stumped too.
It's called Suppressant.
There we go.
there we go.
Okay.
It was called Suppressant.
Okay,
guys.
that song is just
I didn't
about
forget
how
it.
it's just about how like people don't really give a shit about your emotions. Like you can feel bad for a little bit, but people only give you a certain allotted time until they just expect your life to go back to normal. It's
Yes.
kind of like how like life kind of goes on and no one really people do give a shit, but like in general, people don't really give too much of a shit
Unless it affects them personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got to keep it to yourself, man. And then like the fourth song is called Tamper, and that is
Hold on. Before we move on, what is your like? How do you feel about like that's an observation, but how do you feel? What's your stance on the song? Like, are you more towards like people should all give a shit, or
I don't know.
It's not really a stance. It's just more like a
observation.
mindset. It's observation. It's not really like saying to do anything. It's just literally like how I was feeling.
Fucking Cameron. Yes, Cameron.
I keep. By the way, if anyone's listening, I just keep raising my hand to speak because I'm so used to that.
Is that why you rose your hand?
Because
to announce
Do you do that in your relationships
I'm
too?
submissive, guys. God
Is that what you do
raising
in your
my
like personal
hand,
relationships? So you'll be out on a date with a girl and she'll be talking and just fucking like raise your hand.
No, I'm
at the
actually-
Olive Garden.
I've gone through a lot of relationships where I've been mistreated, so maybe I'm just
Oh well,
a very.
fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you.
No, I'm good, man.
All right.
That's
I'm
a whole
almost
that's
through
a,
this bottle of
that's a
wine.
whole other ball game. But anyway, I feel like a lot of our songs, it's like it's not really we want anyone to feel anything for us because it has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
It has
Okay.
nothing to do with us. Like it's just how we feel, but it's really just we're making just like it's not really a statement. It's just like it's just there. Like it's
I understand.
in the
It's an
flesh.
observation.
It has more. It has just as much to do with us as it has to do with like everyone else who listens to it. It's literally just like I'm not trying to be like a populist or anything, like trying to be like, oh, I'm making my songs relatable, but like I feel like people can relate to them.
Yeah, I understand. Totally. Yeah, you're making observations that if people haven't already thought about themselves, and they'll be able to experience through your perception of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally got you. What about Tamper?
Oh, well, Tamper is like that one is about doing acid on a night you probably shouldn't have done acid.
Oh, fuck.
And like it's about like in the like 7 a.m. when you're with your one friend who's still awake and you smoked your like 20th cigarette.
Your one friend while on acid, has to go to his grandma's house to watch his grandma because she's by herself and can't take care of herself.
It's literally just like feeling like, like it was cool to do this, but now I'm kind of fucked up.
I think old people would scare the fuck out of me on an acid trip. I don't know why.
And that one person was me, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling.
I-
It was
when-
pretty specific.
When we were on acid, I kept asking Cameron to like tell his grandma that I said hi, but just like make sure that she knows that it's from me.
I had to drive home, and it was so difficult to focus on the lines. Like driving, it's like coloring inside the lines. Like driving is a lot scarier and a lot more lethal.
See, okay, this is a.
Didn't you say driving on acid isn't that bad?
Oh yeah, I did say that very casually one time.
Well, okay, so I've never done any hallucinogens, just because
They're fun.
I'm too afraid of them and not because I'm like.
We'll
Eat
be the
a whole
Sherpa of the
day.
mountain
Well,
for you.
thank you. They scare me because I've got really fucking bad anxiety, and I feel like if I go into it anxious, then I'm definitely gonna have a bad trip. And
Start with shrooms.
that's what everybody tells me to do. Everybody tells me to start with mushrooms. And that's what I should probably
Be with
do.
friends.
Yes, they say be with people who you're comfortable with in a comfortable environment, and you should start with shrooms.
Then go to acid because you can't sleep on acid. You can
No.
sleep on shrooms though.
Yeah, no, you'll be
Okay.
up all night.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. See, I remember someone once referring to an acid trip as a job because it's like a fucking 8-hour trip.
Oh, yeah.
God, that's so
It
so
is.
true.
I don't wanna fucking
We've
do
had
that.
some.
Acid's terrible. I hate it, but I take a lot of it.
I don't do nearly as much as you. I'm glad I'm not burnt out on it yet.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I just like
you've just been doing a lot of it lately.
I don't know. I worry myself.
He's running into the wrong crowd. This is it. This is the decline.
I don't think it's even like who
Show
I
me your friends, I'll
associate
show you your
myself with.
future.
I just think I have no self-control, which is which is really concerning for myself.
I think you'll be fine.
I mean, you're squeeging your third eye, right? Isn't that what they always say? About, like,
Whatever
about
people want to make themselves feel woke about. You know?
My third eye's in my asshole.
Brown eye.
So
Smell
what about the closure track on the new EP?
All right, so that song is called Crooked End, and that song is basically just about like being stuck in something and not being able to like see the light at the end of the tunnel. Basically, it's just like, fuck, I'm here, and like I don't know, and this is gonna end. That's basically what it's about in general. Just any sort of situation anyone's stuck in where they just have a hard time seeing the end of it.
Does this all come from like personal experience, I'm assuming, and things that you feel about life?
Kinda. I don't try to write anything about anything specific, honestly.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Like, I'm sure it's not super noticeable, but I love the band Deer Hunter a lot. And it's not like I just found out about this and was like, I'm going to do this now. But, like, the singer of Deer Hunter completely, like, stream of consciousness writes his lyrics. And I kind of try to do that. I just, like, so when we make songs, it's usually now Cameron and Josh will write music, and then we'll all work together on organizing and, like, you know, putting it together to like a whole tangible song. And during that point, like during all of that, I will try to write lyrics that match the music.
Well, your lyrics are fucking brilliant. Like
Thank
you're
you.
a really, really, really good writer. I mean, especially the first track of that last song. I can't see past the sunrise, but I can feel the night coming. That's so fucking like just provocative, or maybe not provocative, evocative.
Yeah, Sean bums us out about 24/7.
Oh wait, about with the stuff he writes about, or just that like you
No,
can't
he
write good
doesn't bum
lyrics?
us out. It's like he takes the. Sean can even take the words out of my mouth because you know.
He's a fucking. I can tell he's a true artist, and he scared the fucking shit out of me when I first. Because okay, look, I want to come back to this for a second before we like change. Because I want to talk about the first EP songs a little bit too. But when I first saw you guys, I was standing right up front. And I'd never seen you guys before. I'd never even really. This is the first time I've ever seen a band like this live, or whatever you would call it, a noise band, I guess. Is that okay? I mean, you have it on Bandcamp as Vomiting Blood. I guess a Vomiting Blood band.
You know, it's.
I've never actually vomited blood.
Me either. That's a good sign.
You vomited Merlot, which looked like blood.
It did.
I've been in a situation like that before. That fucking that sucks.
Honestly, I think that we're just
Dude rock.
loose. Like, if I want to say our genre, it's gonna be a lot of hyphens. It's just like shoegaze, psychedelia, noise,
Post-punk.
I guess, post-punk.
Got it,
Yeah,
got it.
those
So,
four,
Christian
honestly.
rock.
Yeah, but
Christian death.
So yeah, like that was the first time I ever saw anything like that, and so he's blaring on his bass, and you're fucking. I'm just paying attention to the reverb drums, which is an idea I've never fucking even heard of before. Like so fucking great.
Thank you.
And I'm absolutely terrified of Sean. Like I'm fucking because first of all he's not dressed like a lead singer in a band, which I liked. Like he's in like sweatpants and a fucking t-shirt, and I was like he wasn't in like skinny jeans like me or something. I'm assuming that's what I was dressed in like usual. Then he's like in your fucking face, like he's gonna tear your face off. It was fucking horrifying, man. Like and he's like. And he looked like he was freshly shaven bald at the time too, so it was like kind of like the school shooter thing going on. Like,
You know, okay, here's the thing.
I loved it. That was a compliment.
I've been dating my girlfriend for like a year and a half, and I actually met her at a consumer show summer 2016, and she said that I looked like I could be a school shooter. I'm like, why?
I know.
Jesus.
Quit shaving your head.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who gets like called like a potential like killer.
Me too. In high school, I was easily like all my fucking. There wasn't actually
What
like
the fuck?
I wasn't given that as an award or anything like officially. But all my kids definitely, all my fellow students always told me I was the most likely to fucking go.
Dude, I don't get
We
that.
just
Like people.
funnel all of our aggression into music.
People would just look at me and be like, "That guy probably has a collection of severed hands."
Yeah,
It's
me
like,
too.
dude, I don't.
You do, though. I've seen it.
I don't. I do.
Yeah, so I totally understand. I think we're all coming from a similar place there. I was definitely.
We're just
that
all
kid.
very misunderstood, I guess, which is okay. It's kind of is like the common thing, I guess.
Can we talk about the drums for a second?
Yeah,
Before,
Josh.
Like, I want to hear about again, like putting the reverb fucking unit in front of the drums is so cool. Where did you get the idea to do
Contact
that?
mic.
So like drums were just really boring to me. It's like, oh, pieces of wood hollowed out. You hit them and they make noise.
A true artist speaks.
They're
Yeah,
just
my
really,
instrument's just fucking boring. I don't know.
just really goddamn boring. So I was interested in contact mics and vibrations and shit. So I got some contact mics that you use for saxophones. You clip them on there, and then I run it through about 4 pedals, and it just picks up the snare really well and makes that vibration.
So
Click the pedals
fucking
on and off
cool.
at different times. Thanks.
So fucking, it just fills up the room. But it does. The crazy thing that you walk a very, very, very thin line, which is not only playing drums and not washing out the band, which is also due to fucking Cameron just bulldozing your face off with volume. But like, you do it without washing away. And like, a lot of people wash, especially in fucking like house shows and stuff like that, you wash everything out with the cymbals. Not only are you not washing it out with the cymbals, but you're fucking adding pedals to your drums without using some kind of fancy trigger system or anything like that, and still not washing everything away.
It wasn't washing it out.
No, it sounded fucking great.
I feel like I bang on the cymbals too much.
Can you actually even hear what I'm doing?
I can.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm a bass player, so I'm kind of hard to ask. I think so. I think it comes.
I just hope for the best, and hopefully people can hear it.
I think it's
Yeah,
great.
right.
I think you guys have a great
Just bite
thing
my
going
lower
on.
lip and just go for it.
Just go for it. So,
Go with God.
where did you guys record the first EP as opposed to the second one?
Jay.
Same place.
Same place?
The drummer from Gay Kiss.
No. Bass player.
Oh wait.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, bass player from Gay Kiss, and then is he drummer for Burnout or bass?
He was the drummer for Humiliation for a time. Now he's the rhythm guitar, and for Burnout, he's the guitarist for Burnout, I think.
Okay,
Yes.
well, his name's Jirix, and he's fucking awesome.
I love
and
you,
like,
Jay.
yeah, seriously, we love him. Like, so Consumer's full-length album, and then and then both Aerico EPs we recorded with him because it's great prices, honestly. So, and then also, just the way we do it, like, we pretty much do everything live, especially lately. Like, for Consumer, it was a little bit more of a deal because it was a full-length album, but for both Aerico EPs, it was pretty much it was at his house, and he has all this nice equipment in his house. But so for the last time, it was like I was singing, and I had like they put like a wall around me of amps so that my voice wouldn't bleed, and then Cameron was standing in the same room with his bass plugged into the pedals, and Josh was there with his drums, and the vocals and the bass were sent with a cord to another room that was all padded up, and on one it was like there was a big old mattress in the middle of the room, and on one side was the bass amp, and on the other side was the amp where the vocals were coming out of, and we just did it all live.
Fucking rad. That's
And
how
it
I
was
love live
cheap
recordings.
as fuck, and he did such a good job. We love Jay.
And we feel safe with Jay.
We
That-
feel very safe
That is
with
the
Jay.
most
Very
important
safe.
thing.
We feel very.
We know he's
very
going to do a
safe with
great
Jay.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a guy like that too, where it's just like fucking so safe. Every time I'm there, it's just like home. That's what you want. Yes.
No, you actually. I want to listen to what you like. Finish that up. Like,
You raise your hand so he can
What?
finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I was just saying I have a guy I use. We've been using Matt Alderwood from Troubled Minds for a long
Oh,
time.
dude,
Oh, yeah, I know him.
yeah, lovely.
I didn't know he's
lovely
in
guy.
Troubled Minds.
Yeah, he is the dude.
What was the band he was in before that?
I don't know.
Peter.
I don't know what band he was in before that, but yes, Cameron.
But seriously, give it up to Jay, who's like,
Jay
not
is the
only
shit.
has worked.
He
with
also
Gay
recorded
Kiss,
RNA's album.
He recorded RNA's album, but he's worked with Anna Nasty, Olivia Neutron-John.
He
I love these
has.
fucking
Yeah.
names.
He's
now.
worked with Olivia.
Yeah, he was
That's
in
awesome.
the Dick Splits with
Jesus
her
Christ, these names.
and Alec Lacurcio from Humiliation.
I never heard about that.
He has helped sing, like he has helped like just like get bands into Arizona. He's helped out the scene. He's in Gay Kiss, Humiliation, and Burnout. Like, bless him. Like, fuck yeah, Jay.
That's fucking rad.
You're cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Good
He is
job.
cool.
you are
Jay.
you
the
are
best.
you got it going on, Jay.
Fuck yeah, Jay. Good job.
Whoa.
Good job. I like the assault that you've been delivering on the mic this entire time. Like your little just like
saying you're
clipping.
loud.
I
Sean.
just like to hear my own voice.
I'm
No,
sure
that's
you're
good.
scaring the shit
I'd-
out of the dog.
I'd rather you.
I like that dog. It's a precious.
Thank you. She at this point needs to just be like a
I love
character
dog.
on the
Very
show. Everyone
nice
always
dog.
mentions her.
You love dogs.
So, how do you guys feel about is it hard to find support in a band like Aerico versus
It is kind of off kilter. So I don't know. What do you guys feel about Aerico?
I mean, I think
just because it's not the norm, you know what I mean? It's not like
it's honestly I've encountered this with Aerico and Consumer, but honestly even more with Aerico because Consumer's kind of just totally balls to the wall, and
You expect people to leave the room.
Yeah,
Consumer.
Aerico is a little bit we were trying to do more of a post-punk, new wavy sort of thing.
It's a lot more
still.
somber.
Yeah, so we're a little, Aerico's a little poppier, and so but the thing is with both of them, you encounter people who you don't even think would like it, and they'll be like, dude, that was some cool shit. When we played the Lost Leaf, remember those fucking bros?
These fucking Dallas Cowboy fans.
Yeah, they were all
fucking
wearing
loved it.
Dallas Cowboy jerseys, and they're like,
This one guy's looking at me and goes, man, I could just see the passion in you, man. And I felt it too. I felt passionate. I was like, I feel passionate about you right now. You're making me feel really special.
They called me a wizard on the skin.
I love you. And then I locked eyes with him and I asked him for his blood type and he wouldn't tell me. So it got weird.
honestly, though, we get lots of shows. For a little bit, because of work schedules, it was harder to play.
Yeah.
But honestly, we just get lots of shows and, it's not every time we play there's a shitload of people, but usually consistently, we have usually a pretty good crowd, and
that's fun.
I think
that's fucking rad.
we did honestly for the beginning of Aerico, we kind of built up momentum because everyone knew about Consumer, and we were like, oh, well, we got something new, and we didn't tell them. We didn't tell them anything. We didn't show anybody anything. No one came to our practices, to show them. It's not
There was no expectation.
yeah, and so we played our first show.
Zero.
Actually, our first show was about a year ago at the Compound of all
And
places.
Lou passed away recently.
I know.
R.I.P.
rest in peace,
Lou.
That just happened, right? That's
Sorry, Lou.
news.
That is so surprising. We saw him. He was at our last show.
At the crack house.
Lou, for those who don't know, is the homeowner of Compound.
I don't even know if that's even a home.
He's the bunker
It's their
owner.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We had a fucking crazy show at the Compound. That
I
place was
believe it.
great.
Was it when the chicken was still there?
Yep. Yeah.
Dude.
Smokey was still there.
Hey, question really quick.
Yeah.
Where's your bathroom? I just drank
It's
this
straight to
entire
your
bottle
yep,
of wine.
Go ahead and go down the hallway. It's on your left.
Feel free to talk shit about me.
Yeah, you'll see Red Hot Chili Peppers with their cock socks as soon as you walk in.
I'm raising my hand.
Yes, I want you. Cameron's been raising his hand for a while, or a bunch of times. So I'm gonna call on
Okay.
Joshua here.
I'm just raising my
what I-
hand to formally say I am standing in for Sean
Fantastic.
at the moment.
Thank you, but I didn't call on you, so
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna go
take
over to
some
Joshua.
of
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Sean, how do you feel? How do you feel about Lou's passing?
Oh,
This is Sean
Kind
now.
of sucks, but that's life.
Yeah, I was gonna do Sean's part.
No, I.
Immortalized. Yeah, he was such a fucking nice guy. So when we played that show, he was walking around at the end of the night, making sure every single person had a sober drive home that night. Like he was making sure hey man, you got someone to go take you home, right?
That's
you
totally fucking Lou.
Yeah. like I'm just checking, And he was going around to every single fucking person. It was so nice.
And I love how he wore fucking knee-high socks with flip-flops.
Oh,
and he wore a
classic.
fucking Kevlar vest around. What the fuck?
Oh my! Is he a dad of one of the guys in the band Soma? Who
No,
ran that
he's
place?
Josie's sister dated Lou,
Got it. Okay.
and so they were just friends with Lou.
Yeah, he was great. I just loved how literally he was would not fucking rest until he knew everyone was gonna get home safe. I thought that was so amazing. So good fucking rest in peace, Lou. This is also a little send off to him.
For real.
Where's our pew 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 our air horn? Like
Beep, 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 beep. I know. I need I need to get some morning radio drops. like the little fucking all that shit.
You need more radio sounds.
I know. I need to get a little bored with some radio. So
Whole
it does
soundboard full of goofy sounds.
Yeah. God, I fucking I hate that shit so much. That's why I love podcasts. Just people like talking and not like pretending to be. You know what I mean? Like you hear a radio show, and unless it's some like legit pro or someone who does podcasts, it's always very much like, okay, well, I'm gonna put on my radio voice. Hello, everybody, and it's like, and then you have other people come on and act like rigid, and it's so weird. I just want
to hear your Matthew voice.
Yeah, man.
That's what we've been experiencing this whole time.
Thank you.
I feel at home.
You're so flattering. How was the bathroom? Was it accommodating?
Big Brother watched me take.
Yes.
Big Brother watches you pee. Okay.
Matthew works for the government.
Yeah. So the way that my bathroom is set up for everybody who's never been in my bathroom who's listening, who hopefully is a lot of you guys. There's a little cove where the toilet is, and in front of the cove there's a mirror. So in that little cove behind, there's a perfect spot for a mirror. So I put the Big Brother's Watching You 1984 poster there. So every time you sit down and take a shit, you see it in the mirror. And if you're standing to take a piss, they're staring at him watching you. Yes.
Can I don't know. I got a problem. Can I go finish my cigarette I put outside?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't have to be too. You can go take a little. You can relax yourself.
Can I just say that smoking's really bad for you? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a nervous wreck, and it's like my only vice, which is unfortunate.
That's
but
why you guys are good.
Smoking sucks.
Mike Pence says cigarettes don't do anything. Hey, got a light? Got a light?
I'm gonna be the green glove guy for Halloween.
Who's that? What's the green glove guy?
He's from Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks. Got it. Yeah, I still haven't watched that show, and I need to.
The green glove guy isn't the one who says
Got a light?
that's the woodsman. It's different.
I need to watch Twin Peaks. So horror movies are my bread and butter. That's one of my biggest passions. Next to music, horror movies are my big passion. But the scariest movie I've never seen was not a horror movie. The scariest movie I've ever seen was fucking Eraserhead. Because David Lynch just somehow knows how to get into my brain and fuck me up.
He said that's his most spiritual film.
Really?
Yes.
In what way is that his most spiritual?
I don't know.
He's
To this day, no one knows what they made that baby out of. They think it was a cow fetus.
I know. Isn't that fucking crazy? I read that shit. That's so freaky. He's such a whack job, and his music is so crazy. Did you see his water bucket challenge? He did.
Everything is fine.
Do you guys remember the water bucket challenge for
The
the
ice bucket challenge?
Yeah, remember that for the Lou Gehrig's disease?
Oh, yeah.
Just like
You
talking
got
over singing.
good things, and I got mine in heaven.
Love it.
I see you have a bunch of ramen.
I do.
Want to know something trashy? I will straight up eat raw ramen.
No.
Same here.
You know what's gross? So I'm vegan now, but it's only been like 3 months. I would melt cheese and like pepperoni and hot sauce on top.
I've seen him do it.
On top of like a dry ass ramen.
Ugh.
Dude, that's fucking vile.
I could snack on that shit.
I respect the fuck. That's why I like. That's great. You're the fucking best. That's hilarious. See, I thought my roommate was fucking disgusting because what he will do is he'll just put water in the bag and let it ferment like prison style, and then he'll fucking eat it out of the bag.
Like toilet wine.
Ramen Pruno, bro.
Yeah, I respect your fucking ramen game, sir. Like I put fucking like Tapatio and shit in mine. I'm like living like a luxurious.
You gotta crack
life.
an egg in that
Dude,
shit.
Yeah,
Tapatio.
I've heard that's really good.
I miss eggs. Honestly, there's a lot of good substitutes.
Yeah, see, I was a vegetarian for 6 months in high school, and I just got fat because I ate nothing but substitutes and fries. Because I wasn't really committed.
Substitute?
Huh? I ate a substitute.
I'm like the same weight. I'm like 6 pounds lighter than when I went vegan.
See, I got so fucking fat doing that.
So when you said that you got fat because you ate substitutes, did you mean you ate like a substitute teacher?
Yeah. It was one of those like after school things that you see on Pornhub.
So like one time in high
They're
school,
expendable.
I had a substitute teacher, and we were supposed to read that one stupid book by Ayn Rand, not Atlas Shrugged, but like the shorter one.
Ayn Rand is
And
stupid.
like we had a substitute teacher, and it was like this old Soviet dude, and he's like, "All right, it was like literally like an old like either like guy who lived in East Germany during that time or Polish guy or something." And he was like, all right, I know we're supposed to be starting on this book, but instead I'm going to tell you guys about living in the Eastern Bloc. And also, first off,
Holy
show
shit.
of hands, who believes in God? And
my
like
fucking God.
less than half the class raised their hands, and he was like, "Oh, good, less than half of you." And then he like interviewed this. He like grilled this one girl in class. Was like, "Why do you believe in God?" Like
Sounds
Where
like
was
my
this
dad.
fucking school? Where were you?
Mesquite High School in
That
Gilbert.
was Mesquite High School. I live. You're from Gilbert?
Yeah, we're
I
all
li-
from Gilbert.
Yeah,
Really?
we're all from Gilbert.
Dude, I went to Williamsfield High School.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, our RNA went to fucking Campo Verde.
Yeah, dude, I was like graduating class 2012 in fucking Williamsfield. I know
they
Gilbert
went.
well.
They went to Gaybert.
Gilbert.
I mean,
Oh.
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
The only brick high school in the state.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
passed Gilbert High. I
Get over
work.
it.
I work. Right now I work at Greenfield and Elliott. Like, so I passed Greenfield.
You
every
live
fucking
like
day.
right by, or you work right by where he lives.
Where you live at?
I live off of Greenfield and Warner.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah,
I like
that's-
how you burped and said Gilbert. Gilbert.
Yeah, I lived in Queen Creek for a long time, but I kept going to Williamsfield High School. I lived in Power Ranch for a couple years, and then we just.
Oh, you
moved
lived
up
in
to-
Power Ranch?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? how-
Orchards, motherfucker.
Dude, I like how like a lot of really abrasive noise comes from fucking Gilbert,
Yeah.
Arizona.
Like, what about Heat Stroke? They're from Gilbert.
Yeah.
A lot of punk bands are from Gilbert. Like Lion Cutters is from Gilbert.
We were the
I think
first.
Kill Your TV,
Right.
I think, is from Gilbert too. I could
Oh,
be
dude.
wrong.
Okay,
I could be
here's-
totally wrong.
Here,
I'm sorry.
No,
I
here's
don't
the
know.
thing about Jake Mellon from Kill Your TV. I've known him since he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
We went and saw
So what, a
ceremony
month?
shows together. Yeah, well, like a month. I've known him for a month. He's like literally, he's 15.
He's my best.
How
friend.
old is he? 18 now.
I don't know.
He's very nice.
You know, Jake Mellon is a good boy, but like, dude, I actually remember
I love
like
him.
kind of showing him how to play some bass shit. Like, but like now he plays a lot faster than I do. But like, dude, fucking Jake Mellon.
Dude, I played a show with them and 0 Degrees North
They're
at
so
the
good.
Record Room.
oh,
Like,
cool.
which sucked ass. It was
Really
it
not
was
cool?
One of those shows where like every single member is frowning, except for 0 Degrees North because they're so nice. But like,
They are so nice.
we were frowning and Killer TV was frowning because we were just playing to the guy running the store, and all the lights were on. It was like all the fluorescent like lights were on. It was really awkward.
Playing to nobody.
Yeah, it was really awkward. We played from like we just played to like my girlfriend and 2 of the girls from Cheap Hotels, and that was it. That was like the whole show.
Oh, a story about cheap motels.
Yeah, I want to hear the story.
So at Indy 500, me and Zach White from Toso were day drinking in the parking lot of the church outside
Yeah.
of Trunk Space. And we kept telling everyone, like, welcome to Indy 500. We were really fucking plastered.
You were
Indy
the only ones day
500, guys.
drinking. We saw some. We saw some people day drinking that show too.
That
We
was
had-
probably them.
We
Yeah.
had, okay, so we were sun baked and we had been up for 24 plus hours. And we just like, we were hell bent on finishing 3 packs of beer. And me and Zach White just like kept just welcoming people to Indy 500. And the cheapos, you know, we kept saying,
The cheapos.
we kept saying like, hey, welcome to Indy 500, guys. And then they'd like thumbs us up. And then I would immediately right after go, hey, welcome to Indy 500, guys.
Indy 500, guys.
But then, like, I walked a little bit towards them as they were walking down the street to probably go to like what is that that food place off of Roosevelt?
Butthole salad.
No,
Expensive.
down the street from Lost Leaf.
Oh, Jobot.
Yeah, they're probably gonna go to Joe Bot and like
Fucking
eat-
love Jobot, dude. To watch your tongue. If
We're
you're
being
saying anything bad
sponsored.
about Jobot.
We're being sponsored by Joe Bot.
I wish.
Sponsored by Sprite.
Fucking
I
wish.
love their butthole salad. It's so good.
That's my thing. It's like I would love to be sponsored. I would love to not have to fucking.
But I just harassed them
You know-
and just said, "Hey, welcome to Indy 500." and
Actually-
I would not stop saying that to them.
They're very nice
Actually,
guys.
speaking of that, like sponsor or whatever, we actually, it's not set in stone or anything, but
But you're gonna sponsor me? Fuck yeah, good. I'm so
Yeah,
happy,
I'll-
guys.
sponsor this dude. But
What were you gonna say?
you guys want to talk about Dirty Water?
Yeah, on our show on the 4th, we have some people from Dirty Water Records USA.
Fuck yeah.
Coming
We're
out
just
to
gonna
watch us.
see
So-
us play a song or
Yeah,
two.
we'll
Yeah,
see,
so-
we'll see how it goes. We're gonna melt their faces.
Yeah,
off.
Nicole, I believe she plays drums in the darts.
No, she plays
Um,
keyboard and sings in the darts.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she's in the darts, and the darts were really cool, and they like seem to be pretty interested in us. They saw us at our EP release, and
Nicole
I think they're
Sola said.
yeah, she did. Nicole did, and I believe that they're scouting us. I'm not sure.
The one time you give somebody a free CD and it pays off.
Yeah.
Are the Darts from here?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
from here.
Isn't that? I think my friend Jade Lara was in that band from Second Go. I could be wrong, but I thought she played drums in that band for a small amount of time. Either I'm wrong, or she was in another band called the Darts, or I'm just remembering the story incorrectly. But anyway, regardless, anyway.
Did they play in the farts?
I got a shark coming up.
No, but I don't know. I'm just drunk and just saying I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm
that's totally
drunker
fine.
than you guys. I drank a whole bottle of this.
Whoa, look at
Tisdale wine.
Sean.
Hey.
Tisdale Merlot wine.
Yeah, Sean told me earlier that he'll bring fucking wine to house shows, and I just think that's so cool.
It's just like it's more alcoholic than beer, so you can get more fucked up if you want. But
It's a lot
like,
cleaner.
and it's I don't know about that, but it's cheap
I
as
do.
shit.
wine distilled
It's cheap as shit,
that's
and
why you-
honestly, like I'm not that into beer.
That's why I guess that's why hobos drink wine, then, right? Isn't that why winos exist?
So
It's
this
cheap?
bottle, you can buy 3 of these for 10 at Circle
Holy
K.
shit! Circle K wine is fucking classy, dude.
You can buy 3
Honestly,
for
though,
free.
red wine, you really don't notice if it's good or shitty. Usually.
I don't know what good wine tastes. I don't know. What the
It
fuck
doesn't
good-
taste
yeah.
like anything because there's no difference.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
the
not
difference.
like whiskey where you
We
have
sound
to.
like complete savages right now.
Cabernet Sauvignon. All red wine tastes the same. Blah.
I got almond milk in my blood.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm just now starting to be able to taste distinctions in beer. Like, cause I've never been a big drinker, and right now I'm starting to really stretch my legs when it comes to beer. So I'm starting to figure out, like, oh, this is good beer. This is not good beer.
You know that actually, like, scientists figured out you have to have a full beard. Like, you have to have a full beard. So for some reason, having a full beard actually increases your ability to distinguish beers.
I
like,
agree.
with your taste.
I'm pretty good
it-
at it.
I'm beer. I
it-
can't grow a beard at all.
See, I don't have the I'm 24. I don't like. I'm starting to get the mustache.
I have the most
and,
facial
like,
hair in this band.
He does.
You do.
Cameron Werner has the most
And
facial
then
hair in
and then
Aerico.
Josh has the second most, but
Yeah, Josh
and
is
then
pretty good.
I'm always like
it's
scruffy or clean shaven.
See, I'm just like patchy, and it comes in all fucked up. So like, if I were to let it grow out, I would just look like that weird anime kid we all went to high school with, who's like greasy as fuck, and he's got like the patchy, long facial hair. You
ever
know what
seen
I'm talking about?
Spirited
Whoa.
Away?
Well, are you?
I'm not. No,
Oh.
no, I wasn't.
I like anime.
I was just like the kid who wanted to offend everybody because I was so angsty and pissed off all the time. That
Dude,
was
hell
all I
yeah.
did.
in high school. I was like, "Ugh, do you listen to Unwound? No. Do you listen to Right to Spring? No. Do you listen to Fugazi? No. All right, well, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Can't eat lunch with us, kid. Go away.
Yeah, I can't get into this. That was me. That was my job in high school. Was just to try to make everybody feel uncomfortable, and like that was it. And then I dropped out, and that was the end of that. So whatever. Working
So
force.
like when
Fucking
you
way
went
she
to
goes.
the bathroom in your high school, did you ever poop there?
no,
You never pooped
no,
there?
I have no.
Is Cameron raising his hand because he did?
Sorry, my girlfriend
Oh,
just walked
hi.
in the room and disrupted fucking everything. I'm just kidding.
Can we call this podcast Dropping Out with Matthew Slusser?
Dude, I used to have a podcast called I had a podcast called Dropouts with my friend who also dropped out of Williamsfield High School, and it lasted like 5 episodes.
Wait a
and-
second. So you went to Williamsfield High School. Did you know Adam Kransky?
No.
Okay.
Adam
Sorry.
Kransky sounds like a made-up person.
It really does.
He kind of is.
He really is.
No, I don't know. I'm not sorry. I didn't know Aaron Kransky.
Good.
We're the same age, though. I imagine you and me are the same age. So I
That's
imagine
true.
He was
So
probably in my class.
he's like 2 years younger.
Was he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably didn't know him then.
There's a long story. He was in a band with me before my first band and whatever. He took our name, blah blah blah. Made crappy music that his dad wrote for him,
Classic.
and now he's a pilot in North Dakota.
Look at that.
That's
a
It
lot.
works out.
Hope he fucking... Wait, I'm going to be careful what I say.
He's bumming cigarettes from Jesus now.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know what
that
that
means.
Don't know.
I don't know what that means, John.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
so you two went to Gilbert High School, right? That's,
Yeah.
That's,
Yep.
that's huge. It's way too big.
Hey, it's modeled after a woman's prison.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
I've been.
I
that's-
thought it was one.
It was.
Yeah, it is.
Probably. I don't know. I have no idea. People always, that was like always the thing. People were like, Gilbert High School is modeled after a women's prison. And I'm just kind of like, okay.
So I have a really weird observation to make about Josh. When I think of a dude who lives in Phoenix, I see your face. Like you literally looks like, I don't know, something about you, like your face and your facial hair and like the way your teeth are and your fucking, I don't know, like literally your whole face. I just like, oh yeah, I totally lives in Phoenix. I don't know why. I just like you have like the. Like,
he lives at. Don't you live in Chandler?
But
Yeah, it's great.
greater Phoenix area. Sorry.
yeah.
Yes.
So does Cameron's face scream Apache Junction then?
No.
I'm from Northern California.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
How can you not be from somewhere anymore? Hey, so speaking of that, do you guys like Phoenix? Like, what do you guys think about Phoenix?
I like Phoenix.
So
it's cool.
anytime I go anywhere else, I'm like, yeah, fuck Phoenix. This place sucks. It's just a bunch of desert. And I'm like, where are all the gas stations and convenience stores? Why is this road like crooked? The fuck?
Where's my grid system?
Like, do you guys feel like, okay, and you guys play in a way different circle than the band that I'm in plays in, so I could just be ignorant here. But do you guys see a lot of like scary bands, like bands that are fucking dangerous or fucked up and crazy?
Want to know the weirdest thing I saw probably at like a show?
Yes.
I mean, okay, there's been a bunch of like crazy stuff, but it's like bands that planned like a performance. So one time, I think it was like 2013, 2014, I went to the Trunk Space for
Grand
this
Ave location.
the old
Yep.
one, the old Trunk Space. Yeah, and like it was to go see this cutesy kawaii like indie pop ish show.
Kawaii indie pop. show?
Kinda, yeah.
All
'cause
right, I'm listening.
I think like I don't know the band, but I know like Electrosad played, and like some other people played, and I don't know what the name of this dude was or what the project was called, but it was this dude who was like he was a singer who like played like a piano, so he has like keyboard, and he was set up in the middle of the Trunk Space, and he just started playing, and it was like this super emo music over like piano, and halfway through like the first song, he pulls out a knife, like a fucking kitchen knife. And so I'm standing like on the left side of the stage, and so like I can't see if this is for real yet. But like he takes out the knife and he starts slashing his left arm. And like everyone's just sitting down and watching him, and no one is saying anything. And later I found out it was because of shock. Like people didn't know what to say. But when he was done, he like finished and he like turned, and I saw his arm was just covered in these big ass gashes. And everyone was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And like his friends were like, dude, why did you do that?
Who the fuck is this legend? We need to get him on the podcast.
I've never seen him again.
But
it was literally the weirdest thing I've ever like it wasn't even it was like a little show.
Oh my fucking Jesus Christ.
And it was like a kawaii little indie pop show of all places.
Okay, so I need to like next time I see Steph, I need to be like, yo, do you remember this show where this dude started cutting himself in front of you?
That's pretty funny.
Ask Steph. I should ask Steph that. I wonder if she remembers. I wonder if she was there.
I wouldn't have forgotten that. If I was running a business where someone in my business started cutting themselves in front of people.
He literally took out. He was like,
Are you supposed? So
while he was playing.
Are you supposed to encourage them at that point?
Are
it
you
art?
entertained?
Yeah.
If you're entertained, then yes.
I wasn't
God.
very.
I think I would be way too polite. I think I'd be like, yeah.
I'd be too nervous about blood-borne pathogens I'd be just step back and call it a day.
Dude, you gotta
Shake his
embrace.
hand.
You gotta embrace
Shake his
bloodborne.
hand, hug him, lick the gashes, man. Get a free CD.
Butterfly kiss them so you get gnarly infections in your eyeball.
Anal orgies.
Yeah.
Ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
It's ass the bass.
That's what I always think of fucking
Take a bass
Requiem for a
fish
Dream.
Big mouth, Bill of Bass.
Do you think anybody can think ass to mouth without immediately, or not ass to mouth, sorry, ass to ass without immediately going fucking Requiem for a Dream? Is that that's my immediate thought? Is
That's
like
what I was doing, yeah.
big crying ass
back
to
and
ass
forth?
scene.
Wait, what?
You haven't seen it?
You ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
No, I
Ass to ass.
That's what happens. Yeah, this girl, Jennifer Gardner, I think, is that the actress who does that?
I don't know. It's just like a double-sided dildo and some ass play.
Yeah, no,
Pretty vanilla shit.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I don't even know what sex
it's pretty pedestrian, but she's like doing it while like almost crying because it's for drug money. It's really it's a trip, dude. You gotta watch it. Jared Leto's in it.
It's my life.
Yeah, great.
It's my wife.
Yeah, you gotta check out fucking Requiem for a Dream. I don't know what you're doing with your life, man. Especially if you're like,
Should listen to Heroin by the Velvet Underground.
You should watch Master of the Flying Guillotine.
I keep
You know
hearing
what?
that name. What is this? I keep hearing that name around. What the fuck
No.
is that?
So Master of the Flying Guillotine is like totally like a 70s like kung fu film where it's this blind assassin who impersonates as a Buddhist monk and uses this like hat thing that is actually a flying guillotine. So like when it's like connected to a chain, and what he does, he casts it out to his opponent and it lands on their head and it drops down where it looks like a mask, and then he yanks on the fucking chain and it cuts their fucking head off, and it's awesome.
That's fucking balls.
Hey.
Master of the Flying Guillotine.
I just have to say right now, this is an admission on like live radio. Donald Trump peed on my face, and he asked me to pee on his face.
We want $50,000.
We want $50,000 million from Mike Pence's gay electrocution therapy corporation. We want it now.
We want all the funds to Mike Pence.
We want Mike Pence to cross-dress and entertain us.
We just want Mike Pence to just not exist, is what we're saying.
I want to put Mike Pence in a can of beans.
We want Mike.
I want to see that. You know what? I want to see that with like David Lynch directing it with fucking.
I want to direct a porno where the old Sheriff Joe hangs from a giant fish hook, but there's a dildo on the end of the fish hook.
Yes.
And like there's just a fisherman like yanking it on the other end. The fisherman will be Tom Waits.
This is Cameron speaking again. I just want people.
You're not Cameron. Shut up.
I just want people just to be good. I just want people to be good people.
I want
people to be
bad.
I want to see people in beans. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't want people to
As
be.
a vegan, I eat a lot of beans.
I don't want people to be indifferent. I want people to like care. But I want people to be just like good. Like good humans.
I mean, I agree with that, but like the Tom Waits fish hook idea is pretty fucking rad.
I mean, Tom Waits is.
How big is this fish hook?
Like,
15
how big
inches.
can you take it?
It's one of those like novelty dildos that you see at sex stores that actually
The
say,
ones
like,
that
not
like
for use.
the ones that people
for
like
use.
steal en masse, and they have like the pictures of the people who steal them, and they're like, this person tried to steal a 16-inch dildo, and now for not pressing charges, we got to put their picture. Honestly, there's a sex shop in like Scottsdale, and they literally
Which
like,
one? Which one? I might have seen it. I used
it's
to
not
deliver pizzas over
Zorba's.
there.
It's the one on
I
Scottsdale
know
Road.
Zorba's.
It's the one on Scottsdale Road near the Raspado's place. And like they literally have like picture of like ID and like a written story of everyone who's tried to shoplift from the sex shop.
Holy
just
shit.
on a wall, the wall of shame.
Dude, so the sex store in Flagstaff, the adult boutique like sex store that's over there. I went there once, and it was really fucking weird because they sold like wedding dresses and prom dresses.
Damn.
And like butt plugs at the same time. It was really fucking weird. And there was like it was very strange. And then weeks after I went there for the first time, they got fucking a bunch of people got arrested for sex trafficking.
What?
Inside sorry, human trafficking. Human trafficking from the sex store. It was fucking crazy. Like I don't know. Every single time I see that place or where I don't know if it's still there or not, but it was like
So whose dresses were they?
yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, that was fucking rough, man. Shady shit. They can't all be fascinations at Castle Megastore. Every once in a while, you gotta just feel dirty.
There's that
Sell
one
some
shop
humans.
by the Tempe Tavern.
Oh yeah, I've never been in the modern world or yeah. What's it called? The adult arcade.
Been in there.
I've never been in there yet. What's that? Is it like kind of cool? See, sex stores on the outside always look really fucking scary, and then the inside they're kind of welcoming.
You're like, oh, look at all these colors and
Yeah.
shapes.
Hey guys, want to buy a vibrator?
Gonna buy a prosthetic ass.
I like that in the background of this
Dude.
entire podcast, Sean is making like sonic art in the background, like it's like early electronic music where it's just like keyboards and banging.
Yeah.
You ever listen to The Residents?
Yeah, see, it's like shit through that. I dig it. This is easily my most avant-garde podcast so far, guys.
How do they usually go? Pretty
Pretty guard.
Yeah.
regular guard.
Yeah, just right. Not avant-garde.
Do you ever just look at the dimples in your ceiling and be like, there's like microorganisms
Called
living
popcorn
up
ceiling,
there,
Sean.
No.
like entire lives?
It's stuck
There's
up.
like bunch of shit going on, man.
I think about that. I think about that shit. I think about that a lot. You know, that everybody has. Like, think about my bed. Like anytime anybody has it, like everyone's bed has like the fucking dust or the fucking dust mites. What are they called? The bugs that are super small.
There are bugs that live in your eyebrows. Eyebrows.
Hey, speaking of beds, my Auntie Joy, when she was admitted to the hospital, she was going to pass away. She used to smoke inside her apartment. So, like, tar was stuck to, like, every surface inside this fucking apartment. But when we lifted up her mattress, there was fucking, like, nicotine stalactites. Like,
What?
Tripping.
Did you smoke them?
Wait, tell me, what does a nicotine stalagmite
So
look
it's
like?
like this black, sticky ass, like, it looks like if you poke someone in the eye with it, it would just give them cancer. Like,
And did you just break one of them off and light it
yeah,
up?
were they hard or sticky? What's
I never
the consistency?
touched it. I was
Lick
11.
it.
I was listening.
Lick it.
I'm-
Lick it.
They also found like a very old rotisserie chicken, like from like Safeway, in her.
This is
Dude.
a fucking David Lynch movie. Like, this is what we were talking
Get
about
a
earlier.
big old rotisserie chicken and you fuck it.
I feel for my Annie Joy because, you know, a lot of people just kind of like left her behind, and she just was a very depressed old woman, and she died kind of like she lived alone until like her last couple days.
She just wanted to eat chicken and
Well,
smoke.
fuck, man.
She just I don't know.
On that note, shit.
Living's hard.
I mean, yeah, but so is this now. Fucking.
You're going out for another cigarette, you
I
addict.
just talked about my Aunt Annie Joy smoking.
See, but look,
inside.
Cameron. Hold on, Cameron. You've got a nice like blue collar kind of like look going with your beard and your fucking like.
His mom
button
said he
up
looked like shit.
and a cigarette. Like you look delightfully working class.
How many metal shavings have you swallowed today?
I probably swallowed quite a bit of magnesium, which is not good.
Well,
Isn't that what they give people as laxatives though? Like magnesium.
so like, do you shit a lot?
Milk and magnesia?
Yeah, milk and magnesia, that kind of shit.
I don't know. I just know that probably shouldn't be like breathing in a bunch of like metal dust.
Or talking onto the mic.
Oh. I'm going to take a couple minutes to go give myself more cancer, but
That's fine. Well,
Yeah.
I have a couple more things, and then we'll probably end up wrapping this up.
okay.
So if you want to do that, you can do that, or we can just like hang out and you can muscle through it, and we'll finish it up. I have a couple other things that I want to do though. Talk about real quick. So when it comes to music, like when it comes to your guys' music, is it all just a self-expression, or is it musicianship, or what are you guys most interested in? Like that's kind of a weird question. I can't,
I
but
think
like
sometimes I think we might flirt with a little bit of a concept, but I don't think it's very clear to us. But I feel like it is there. What do you think, Sean? Because I feel like we do kind of curtsy around that a little bit.
I mean, we're not trying to be super technical or anything. We're just trying to make.
Very gut music.
Honestly, like the three of us have minimal or none like musical training. But you know, we just do it. But I mean, there's still like not necessarily a formula, but we still know what we're doing, but we're not trying to be like super like I said, not trying to be super technical. We're honestly just trying to sound the way we want, and we think the way we want is a good sound. So basically, we're just trying to sound good.
I like gut music as a term. It is. It's very visceral.
Yeah,
It's
we
extremely
definitely
visceral.
make gut music for sure.
So where are you guys as far as touring goes? Do you have any interest in touring at all? Have you like what's that
So
looking like?
we actually got offered to tour with Kill Your TV like earlier this year.
Oh yeah, with those are with my people. SoCal indie musicians probably were running that tour. That's who I always give people to play through.
Yeah, we couldn't do it though, but hopefully soon we can tour. We would love to tour.
Actually,
Actually,
would be a fucking great band to tour with. Be a fucking
Believe it.
wild.
I believe it.
I want to tour with RNA.
I want to tour with Toso.
Dude, fucking Toso.
Toso!
Toso's the shit.
Dude, they're so.
What about?
fucking
Have you
good.
heard of the Assholes?
No.
So the Assholes is Rick, the drummer. He is singing, and then it has Evan, the lead guitarist, playing bass, and then it has Mark, the bassist, and Zach, the singer guitarist, both playing drums, and then it has their one friend on guitar, and then our friend Nate on keyboard, and I think they've only had 2 shows. It's a very rare thing that they bring out, but it is fucking awesome. And we got to see them last weekend. It was fucking awesome.
It's like a bird of prey.
They're the shit, dude. Toso is so fucking wild, man. I'm gonna have
So
them on eventually.
picture Toso, but all mixed up and doing hardcore punk.
They kind of
I'm
remind
bleeding out my ass. The pain is so intense.
They remind me
That's
of
one of their songs.
They remind me of like a little bit of like a little bit of No Trend and a little bit of like Lumpy and the Dumpers in a way. Like, I don't know. Good bands. Look up No Trend or Lumpy and the Dumpers. I'm just saying.
Sean is gonna make this podcast.
Also, look up
impossible to
Warm
listen to.
Bodies. Also, look up Ogre. Also, look up Minx.
Also, look up
To the
Phoebe.
sky.
Karl Marx's.
Highway.
Just look up communism.
Look
Yeah.
up Pucker Up from Boston.
Look up
I'm going to
The-
start screaming.
like when Indonesia killed all those people because they were communist.
God damn it, Sean. Yeah, look that up. That is important.
Soya Sovietsky.
And on that note, I'm gonna wrap up the fucking podcast with Aerico. Thank you guys so much for coming over. This is so much fun. I
Thank
love
you, man.
you.
Thank you, Matt.
I can't wait to hang out and see you guys. When do you
I
play
can't wait
next?
to smoke a cigarette.
Wait, so we're playing November
Yeah,
4th
plug
at
time.
Bummerfest around 4:30 or something like that at 51 West.
3:30.
3:30, whatever it's
At the
time.
Bum-
Bummerfest 3:30 at the Trunk Space.
Okay.
November 4th.
Okay, and then we're playing at the Lunchbox, playing with a giant dog from Austin, Texas, and I'm also playing in the other band I'm in, UFO Dictators, as their bass player.
Fuck, we didn't even mention this. What's UFO
I don't know. We're
Dictators?
talking about Aerico.
What's UFO Dictators?
Okay, the UFO Dictators is the guitarist from Humiliation is the drummer.
Okay.
That's Alex Rempel on drums, and then our friend Kevin Buchik is the guitarist and singer. Alec Curcio, who is the singer of Humiliation, was their bass player, but he had asked me to play bass for them, and now he's just our manager.
Got it. Okay. So
Why don't we have a manager?
Which I'm looking him on Facebook.
We're not
Who?
cool.
Which? Because you've mentioned Humiliation a bunch. Is that the one with 334 likes or 70,000?
334.
Got it.
Yeah, Humiliation's like this weird, like it's like I don't know if they're like Indonesian, like heavy metal or something.
All right, I'm listening.
But
You're
Humiliation's
Indonesian
cool.
heavy
But
metal.
yeah, I'm in UFO Dictators, and I'm also in Maximum Roach. Josh also plays drums for Andy War Pigs, and fucking Sean does his solo project. And what is that solo project, Sean?
Altercation. I've only had one show. I need to work more on it.
But those are our things that we do.
Hey, Cameron, you want to start a hardcore band with me?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, it's done.
I'm down.
Deal is done.
Should call the band Fuck Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right,
We're
guys.
fuck yeah.
with Matthew.
Thank you guys so much for coming over.
Thanks,
I will
Matt.
see you guys at your next show or something, and we'll fucking
Thank
get together.
you.
Thank you guys.
Fuck
Have a
yeah.
good night. Thank you guys so much for listening. Well, those guys were fucking crazy. What an amazing time. I wanted to give a little quick outro real fast to say Lou from the Compound, who we mentioned in the podcast as dying, that was reported by the Facebook and all that kind of stuff saying that he died and rest in peace. Well, 3 days later, during their show that they threw for him at the Compound as like a goodbye show, rest in peace show, he jumped out of a coffin and is still alive. So, crazy fucking Lou is still with us. Fantastic. Happy to have you back.